the Sports 56 Happy Hour with Johnny Radio.
If you like pina coladas.
On AM 560, 96.1 FM, and 87.7 FM. This hour of Sports 56 Happy Hour is brought to you by MemphisFarmers.com. Insurance coverage backed by a local agent and a brand trusted nationwide. We are farmers. MemphisFarmers.com.
Check it out right here.
Ladies and gentlemen, and now,
The only man to give death a near Johnny experience. Johnny Harden.
Yo, 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 yo! It is Sports 56 Happy Hour with your very good friend Johnny Radio. You know how to find me, don't you? All you have to do is go to Johnny_radio on Twitter. You know I always hang out with my very good friend Gabe Kuhn. He's always in the hizzy.
Yo.
Now, he's with me right now, but guess what? Usually he's producing. But we have our intern right now who has turned Magic Master. He's running the board like a magic man. He's doing everything. Jalen, say what's up and tell people what your Twitter is.
Yo, my Twitter name is Possibly Reality.
See, the dude can run the board. We're gonna work on him. We're gonna work on his game. We're gonna work on his talk game. We're gonna give you that trust me, man. You're gonna come out of here being like, man, I'm hard up for some hardwood. Let's bring this thing on. John Luke's coming on at 1:30. You're gonna be dropping all that stuff like Gabe would normally do. You're gonna roast it. But I'm gonna tell all the people out there, we have John Luke at 1:30. We have Hardwood at 2:30. 2 o'clock, I'm just gonna smack Gabe around a little bit on some funny stuff. We're gonna talk a lot more draft, and then we're gonna talk about fairness. And what is really fair, and in sports, which are somewhat, I think sports are the best thing in the whole world that you could basically equate life to, because everything in life you have in sports. You have winners, you have losers. There's ups, there's downs. There's hard work to get what you want, and if you don't put in the work, you don't get what you're going to get. There's, you know what I mean. So it equates to life extremely well. So we're going to talk about all kinds of stuff like that. We're going to have a lot of fun, but I'm going to tell you, we're going to get started, and I'm going to kick his name, Gabe Kuhn. And the fact that he's over here looking right across from me, he's much more intimidating.
I'm not looking at you right now.
Well, he's a lot bigger than me. So if he stands over there and we have this little space in between, I can talk all kinds of smack to him and feel really, really strong and powerful. And I do notice that is a little bit more difficult with you sitting in the room across from me.
Are you sure?
Yes, because you could just go pound right on top of my head, and then I'd be like, up, out, and you'd be like, and welcome into the Gabe Kuhn Show. And I'd get furied, we'd say, like Deontay Wilder. By the way, before we get started, I do want to start off the show and just say, Gabe, did you laugh as hard as I did?
Oh, no, don't bring up the excuse.
Please
don't bring
tell
up
me.
the excuse, please.
If you are an athlete,
No.
and if this were true, and even if this were true, let's just pretend that a 40-pound
Not
suit
smart.
cost him the heavyweight
Not
championship.
smart.
Would you let that out?
No.
Like that makes
That's
you look
the worst
weak, right?
decision. That is the worst decision he's made probably in his professional career, is to come out with that excuse. You can talk about it. You can say, oh, well,
Worse to come out with the excuse or the suit.
the excuse by far.
I
by
think
far.
the excuse
and I don't
too.
even think it's close. I think it's a wide margin.
Hey,
That's
look,
way worse.
the suit, Black History Month, what he
The
was
suit's
trying to
fine.
accomplish,
The
he
suit's
tried it
good.
on the night before. Look, in his mind, if he's looking for an excuse, I can tell you one thing. The excuse that you threw out there is so bad. That would be like the only thing, like I would have thought better if you just been like, honestly, dude, I needed my Pepto.
You want to know?
I had a stomach issue.
You want to know what throws me off though? Is
like something like that.
remember when they did the peek-ins to their dressing rooms, and
Fury
Fury was pumped up, but he's just like laughing
he
and like
looked
having
smiling
fun,
and everything.
relaxing.
Dude, he looked like he was
and then,
having
and then
fun.
they go into Deontay Wilder's corner. He's serious, getting stretched, like throwing punches. Like
Putting-
I don't know
you see
if
him
it's
put
the
his
suit,
hands when
buddy.
he's
I
getting
thought
wrapped.
I think you did too much before the fight in general. The suit may have added to it and made your mind go crazy, but that's the worst excuse I think I've ever heard.
It
of
hurts.
losing, especially in like a combat sport like that.
It hurts, by the way. Can I tell you something? The draw was awesome. They did great at the gate. It was the largest gate, by the way, in history of boxing. So they did great there. I don't know how pay-per-view is going to be, but they're estimated to each make about $30 million. That's a pretty nice chunk of change. Now, him exercising this clause, I said yesterday, I think would be a huge mistake because there's one thing Wilder can do, and that's what he's always done. He's knocked people the bleep out because he has that Mike Tyson style power. But the problem is he doesn't know how to box. He's a fighter. He needs to learn how to box. And the last thing I have to say before I get into some more fun is he blamed one on the loss on his suit, and then two, this ticked me off more than anything, and I'm going to ask y'all how y'all feel. And there's two things that bother me about the statement. One, the statement just let's just be honest. The statement that I'm about to read to you from Deontay Wilder sucks. Just straight up. It's the only way I can tell you. It sucks. The other statement is the fact that you want to blame this on your ring guy. Why? Like,
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
He fired his longtime ring guy. Let me find the name real quick.
Yeah,
for you.
find his name real quick. But he fired the ring guy. But let me tell you what Deontay Wilder said. He said, "I'm ready to kill somebody in the ring, and if I'm ready to kill somebody,
Who'd he say? He said
then
that.
I'm ready to die in the ring too. Don't throw in the towel."
It's Mark Breland.
That's a Warriors. That's a Warriors mentality. I'm like, dude, he could have thrown the towel in the fifth ring. I mean, the fifth round, the third round, the second round. Everybody knew you were going to get your butt, but it was over.
He's been through 44 professional fights with Mark Breland, who's his corner man, and decides to fire him after this one once he threw in the towel. To be honest with you, between the excuse and firing your corner man, I think it's very obvious, and it's just what it is. He's not used to losing.
Two things. He's not used to losing. And that's the one thing that sports is we usually learn how to be losers in it because nobody usually just comes out and wins everything. You know what I mean? But going into Fury, I mean, this guy was an undisputed knockout king. He was at one time 41-0 with 41 knockouts. Mm-hmm. And then he fought Fury, decision. Then he fought him the second time, and it was just a beatdown of epic proportion.
Real quick, follow me on Twitter, G_Kuhn71, Kuhn. I tweet out the show every day on our various platforms, streaming-wise. We have Twitter. We have YouTube. We have Facebook. I tweet it out for you. This is the pre-hump day edition, the Tuesday edition of Sports 56 Happy Hour.
By the way, it's Mardi Gras Day. Happy Mardi Gras.
Yeah, Fat Tuesday.
I got to tell everybody at Hardwood, I'm going to tell my Mardi Gras story that I've told everybody.
No.
When I was 16 years old. Well, I was 15. It was right before I turned 16. I turned 16 that year, but Robbie was 16, Drew was 16, and we told everybody's parents how we were all going to spend the night there, and we took Robbie's car, and we went down to New Orleans, and we partied like rock stars for 3 days.
That's young.
Dude, but when you were 16 back then, when you could drink at 18, so nobody checked you, and we had fake IDs and stuff.
But
anyway, this was a long time ago.
Back onto it, the Grizzlies are in a reel right now. We're going to get to that at some point.
God, that was
the NFL Combine's going on. Joe Burrow has tiny hands. That's going on right now. So we're going to get to that. At 1:30, we have our guy, John Luke McCord, to talk some Combine, XFL, whatever we want to get to in that segment. Then 2:30, we got Hardwood.
Oh, and again, I'm going to bring out some fun stories about Mardi Gras. Happy Mardi Gras Day to everybody, dude. Happy Fat Tuesday. Y'all partying like rock stars. Y'all getting y'all's Mardi Gras on. What's going down today? How's the Mardi Gras thing going, do you think, down in right now? In all honesty, what do you think? What do you think is going down in New Orleans right now?
I don't know, man. Just, good old family fun.
Good old
right?
family.
Like it always is.
Good old family. You know what? You're probably
completely wrong.
No, you are 100% right, dude. You really are. But it started back in January 4th with the Fools. Then you had like the crew of Joan of Arc and all those people, the funny poor pillow going to New Orleans Uptown. And then February 1st, it really started. And then next thing you know, the 8th. And then today, it is Fat Tuesday. And then all you people be putting the ash on your head on Ash Wednesday when that comes up and all that good stuff. But anyway, I hope you've been partying like a rock star. Out of all the days to party, today is the day. If you've ever been to New Orleans for some reason, Fat Tuesday, they just get down. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, of
like
course.
it's the last day, and it just gets down.
So,
it gets crazy. It starts at 10
It-
a.m.
I don't know if you knew this, but
and it goes
hometown,
bananas.
my hometown goes bananas for Mardi
Really?
Gras as well. Yeah, St. Louis is the second largest get together for Mardi Gras in the United
Did
States.
not know that.
Yeah, it's pretty nice. Pretty nice usually. I mean,
Do they throw the beads and girls take their
I
clothes
gotta
off?
of course.
Really?
You gotta imagine it's a lot.
Is it colder?
Obviously, a lot lesser than New
Yeah, I
Orleans.
was gonna
And
say.
of course, it's
I was gonna
colder.
say
A
it could
little
be
more
like
north.
people. Well, you got people
Further away
putting,
from the
like,
equator.
Do you have
I
like
didn't know if
girls
people knew
making
this, but the
ice
further you get away from the
ice
equator,
sculptures and stuff?
It's colder.
Like cutting glass, making ice sculptures and stuff,
Not
like in
quite
Minnesota.
that cold. Not that cold.
Oh, okay. I mean,
Not that cold.
it is pretty cold.
It's cold, but it's not that cold.
Anyway, I could just see some crazy stuff. But down in New Orleans, it feels really good. Today, it's 68 degrees. Feeling nice, and people are just partying it up. And now I got to stop being nice, and I got to start being mean because I got to get real. And I was talking to my very good friend yesterday, Gabe. He got me a little frustrated when he brought up about like Jalen Hurts, and I was talking about, and I didn't want to get just totally on him.
And look, it's just a difference in opinion.
And-
we don't
again,
have to get offended
But
in
no,
here.
we don't.
all right?
But I want to try to explain to people because I really do
Well, can I
think
explain the
people
other
have
side?
forgotten. And I absolutely. But first, I want to just go ahead and lay my out, and then I want to hear you come back with this. Jalen Hurts is 21 years old.
Uh-huh.
He will be 22 on February 7th.
Yes, sir.
Taysom Hill is 29. He will be 30 on
Okay.
February.
When did Taysom Hill get in this?
On February, because I brought him up because you said that Taysom Hill is much better than.
I did not say he's much better.
You said he was better.
That never came out of my mouth. I never
anyway,
texted it.
you said-
I never said
I
it
got
out
it
of
right
my
here.
mouth. I never said anything like that. I said it's okay. You got to understand, Taysom Hill was a good college player. I don't think he's unequivocally. When you talk about Jalen Hurts,
Yeah,
I don't
but
think
you
he's
said your
unequivocally
exact
better
words-
than Taysom Hill.
BS Jalen Hurts.
Oh, we're getting out
I'm
texts.
looking at your.
All
I'm
right.
just saying. I'm just
I
saying.
didn't- look, look.
Here, I just want to bring this up, and I want to remind people because this is where I didn't realize that we had such a miscommunication of reality from texters, from you even, Gabe, and my man Randall yesterday. And all I want to do is just try to set the record straight. Taysom Hill is going to be 30 at the same time that Jalen Hurts will be 22. Taysom Hill is 6'2", 218 pounds. Jalen Hurts is 6'2", 222 pounds. Jalen Hurts, when we talk about him as a passer, and this is where people forget.
Came a long way.
Hold on, I'm about to but people don't even realize how far he was. By the way, people also forget he was the SEC, the Southeastern Conference, which nobody's going to argue is the best conference in the world. He was his freshman year.
Yeah.
By the way, he was 17 going on 18 years old. Was the SEC Offensive Player of the Year as a freshman, a true freshman, and the first freshman to start for Nick Saban. Now, again, y'all say stuff about his passing.
Good player, fantastic
But
player.
y'all say stuff about his passing. You said Taysom Hill was so much better, blah, blah,
I
blah.
did not say that.
You did? Hold
That
on.
never-
Anyway,
that was
okay,
never
anyway.
said.
I'm just here, I'll just say this. I'm just going to give Jalen Hurts stuff and give his credit.
Okay.
As a passer, he will go down in the history inside the top 25, and he is ranked 24th currently. He was number 1 last year and will go down in the history of sports as having the 24th best career at putting the ball down the field, yards per attempt. And guess what? He's also happens to be 24th in yards per catch. Now, he was first last year in yards per attempt and yards per catch. He led the entire country. He also, by the way, completed 69.7% of his passes and was second in the country. His career, he is a 65.1% completion percentage, 9,477 passing yards. He threw 80 touchdowns to only 20 interceptions. He also, his rushing, this is where it also is hilarious. He rushed for 5.6 yard average for
1,300 yards last
3,274. And by the way, he rushed for 40 I mean, think about this: 43 touchdowns, and again threw for 80. Now Taysom Hill, you said he had his career was amazing. At Brigham
Well, he
Young,
got
hold
hurt.
on, hold
He
on.
got hurt. He got hurt. He was in a Heisman conversation.
Here's his years.
He was
59.
hurt.
I'm just going to tell you straight up. His freshman year, he didn't win the SEC Rookie of the Year.
I never said he did.
59.2% of completion.
Either.
59.2% completion year his freshman year. 53.9 his sophomore year. He did get it up to 61.8. He finishes his career at 58.2%. There's a difference in 65.1 and 58.
I agree.
Plus, he only threw for 6,000 yards. He threw 43 touchdowns to 31 interceptions. Hold on. His rushing was 5.3 to 5.6.
See, I don't know where this conversation got to Taysom Hill.
Well,
That's
because
my problem.
today we were talking, and I can tell you where it got to Taysom Hill because I was
You brought
trying
him
to
up,
say,
right?
Yeah,
'Cause
I
it
brought
wasn't
him up.
me.
And I brought him up, and I mean, I can read it exactly. And I said that, I don't understand how it is that, Jalen Hurts' performance, I was listening to what was going on, and they were talking about, I go, I don't know what he saw, the man who was on Midday Show, but I saw a guy whose footwork, sometimes when the guy doesn't catch the damn ball, doesn't mean it's the quarterback's fault. The footwork is what you wanted to see.
Uh-huh.
Can the guy do the footwork? Yes. Can he also make the reads? Yes. I thought he had a great senior day. I don't give a damn if the dude can't catch the ball, if it's the wide receiver who drops it. All I want to see is his footwork. I want to see him under center. I want to see how fast he gets rid of the football. I want to see also, is he a leader of men? And all those things I saw.
And I'll tell you this also, along with that, I think a Senior Bowl performance is also overrated.
I agree.
In certain aspects because they're running a conservative BS just offense.
But his
that
isn't
honestly,
BS.
No, but honestly, those bowls, from experience, they run very vanilla, old school schemes that everybody can get within a week because you're not going to be able to put in a full playbook in that week that you're on site, whether it's Mobile, whether you're in LA for the NFL Players Association Bowl, whether you're at the East-West Shrine game. You cannot actually do that. So I think those bowl games are taken into account, very very much, and it shouldn't be that way. But with Taysom Hill, that's not my conversation.
He wasn't drafted. He is now the backup for Drew Brees. He's 30 years old. He's now the hot thing. He can do a little bit of everything. All I'm trying to say is, OMG, you got a better version of Taysom Hill, who's the next sexy thing, who could be a great backup to Lamar Jackson's, a great leader of men, can be a backup because we saw him do it in college after he was the SEC Offensive Player of the Year. After he won a national championship, he was still willing to come back and give up his starting job. So what I'm trying to say is, as a leader of men, as a professional, I can't see anybody who's more ready to be a pro. And again, all I'm trying to say, if Taysom Hill can back up Drew Brees, how in the hell can Jalen Hurts not back up Lamar
again,
Jackson?
I think the conversation,
and both you and Randall Sharp said, it's going to be a lot harder than you think. Did y'all not say that to me
talking
yesterday?
about Jalen Hurts and Lamar Jackson?
Did y'all not say it'd be hard for him to be a backup?
I think it's a way different.
And you also
situation.
said that Lamar was so much better. No, I got the number.
Jalen
Hurts smoked Lamar. He got second on the Heisman, too, by the way.
Let me talk.
Go ahead.
Jalen Hurts, was a product of two incredible situations. And it took to his senior year when he got with Lincoln Riley to be able to put up the passing statistics, put up the passing statistics that he could. Lamar Jackson was with Bobby Petrino, who has since gone on and been fired, okay? And he didn't have anybody on that offense with any discernible NFL experience. Like, no one on that offense is in the NFL now. You can go look it up. No one. That O-line gave up 11 sacks to Houston. He won the Heisman at Louisville. I think they're completely different situations, and I think Lamar Jackson was a better prospect for the NFL by a wide margin. That's how I feel about it. Do I think Jalen Hurts? I saw the conversation today about Jalen Hurts, would you play another position? No, I think that's a ridiculous ask, and I think that's honestly very racially charged when you ask a question like that to a black quarterback. with Jalen Hurts because he's a quarterback. That's
I don't
the
know
end of the story.
that
thing.
Anybody asking him to play a different position
They
right now.
they asked him at the
Lamar
combine
last year to
at
play
the
wide
combine
receiver. They didn't
at the
ask Jalen.
combine
I
at
didn't
the
see that
combine.
one.
They had an interview and they talked to him. They asked him that question. He said, "No, I'm a quarterback." That was today.
That's fun.
But I think that's ridiculous. But do I think that Lamar Jackson was a better prospect? Yes, and I think by a lot.
Okay. I'm just
The statistics
I'm not
aren't going
asking
to
him
tell
to
you
take
that.
over. Again, you act like I'm asking. I don't understand how we went to Jalen Hurts being better than Lamar Jackson. I said if Taysom Hill can back up Drew Brees, how can Jalen Hurts
getting a little
not be
convoluted.
the next best thing to back up Lamar Jackson? I never said take over one time yesterday to outplay Lamar Jackson. I never said he was better than Lamar Jackson. I said you can take two guys. If Lamar Jackson gets injured and you build a complete offense, not everybody can go Frank Wright and take out Carson Wentz and insert Nick Foles and change their offense and make it fit and win a Super Bowl. But if Baltimore loses Lamar for 2 games because he ran it 50,000 times more than any other quarterback, and if he takes a hit, like remember Drew Brees, who took one, and that's how the Tom Brady started, you got a guy who can step in and just plug the hole, and he's a great
They
leader
have
of
RG3
men.
right now
Okay.
to do that.
Okay.
But
All right.
But I will say this.
I'll just leave it at that.
I think that it is easier.
I just think you're
I think
limited.
it's an argument that is way easier said than actually done.
No.
I think there's a
tell
comparison.
Me where's
I think
the
a
better?
comparison.
All I was saying that's the best.
It's just opinionated,
That's
obviously.
the best fit is all I was saying. Now, explain to me why you said both of y'all laughed. Y'all had fun. Ha,
Jalen
ha,
wasn't in
ha.
this.
No.
Jalen wasn't
I'm
in
talking about Randall.
Uh-huh.
And y'all thought I was there. No, tell me where's the better situation for Jalen Hurts? And if Taysom Hill can play in the NFL, and if Lamar Jackson can play, why can't Jalen Hurts play in the NFL? Why is that funny?
I didn't say he couldn't play in the NFL.
You said it was so much harder.
Never in my life.
So
did I
what?
say that.
Wait. Then
That
make
was
your
never the
point
argument.
because so
we were
far
talking about
I've
Lamar
said he can back
Jackson
up
and
Lamar
Jalen.
Jackson. That's the best spot for him. Where's the better spot for him then?
I don't know. What do you want me to just pull one out of the hat and tell you where a better spot is?
It's called.
I don't have it. I don't have a
strong.
strong. I don't have a strong opinion on that.
So you
I
don't
really
think
don't.
Jalen Hurts can play in the NFL?
I never said that. Are you
well,
putting words in
I'm
my mouth?
asking you to make up your decision. This is what you do in radio. Tell me what it is, why it is that you feel strongly that Jalen Hurts is not an NFL quarterback.
He's not the athlete Lamar Jackson is.
Oh, okay.
And he is an NFL. He can play in the NFL. And he can play quarterback. So I've never said that. Just so we're clear. But I think he's Lamar was a better athlete, no question. You throw him into that Ravens offense, it sounds great. I just don't think it works the same. Given he's not the athlete, he's not.
So does Tom Brady,
he's not as
Ryan Tannehill,
He's not
Nick
as
Foles?
shaky.
Who
He's
works
not
better?
as shaky as Lamar. I think he has a decent arm. I think he's good at it. Do I think Lamar is able?
He's the
do I
number
think
one
Lamar,
in the
do I think
history
Lamar
last year
is
of throwing
do,
the
do
ball
I-
down
do
the
I-
field.
Do I think Lamar is better suited for that offense throwing the ball? Yes, 100%. And I think RG3 might be.
When did Lamar complete 70% of his passes?
In college?
In
did.
college or the NFL?
Never did.
Because
You're not taking into account
Jalen did.
situations they were put in.
Oh, so
You don't. So you think
again.
Louisville was a great situation for Lamar to be in? He
I
still won a
thought it was
Heisman.
great.
Really?
And Jalen got
Name
second.
a player on that offense
Dude.
besides Lamar Jackson.
Right now, I can't just do it off my hand, and I can't say anything off the
I'm
hand.
sorry.
Dude, okay,
Again,
look,
this is a difference in opinion.
that's fine.
That's what it is.
All right, congratulations. People can just feel how they want to feel. That was fun. Again, if Taysom Hill can play, Jalen Hurts was 20 times the player. If they're talking about Jordan Love being the
Whoa.
guy on the radio came
Whoa.
out. I listened to it on
that's
these
not.
airwaves.
That's not my opinion.
I
Don't get
didn't
mad at
say
me
it
about
was. I'm allowed to
Okay.
still talk about it.
Yeah.
And I'm saying if they say that, you're telling me that I listened and I wrote it down. So Jordan Love, who couldn't even finish and stay on the field, he's a better fit than Jalen Hurts in the NFL. He's a better quarterback. He also said, which I agree 100%, Eason is going to be a good NFL quarterback. Good measurables, great arm. It just proves to me that Kirby Smart's a moron. He got rid of Eason and Justin Fields to keep Jake Fromm, who won't even be drafted in the damn NFL because he sucks. So it just proves Kirby Smart's an idiot. What I'm trying to say is, like, you might want to look at quarterbacks and just try to realize, and don't text me to calm down. Man, that's annoying. That'll just make me get more angry. Oh, please. Whatever. I'll be back in 2 shakes. Hit Memphis Farmers up. That's Memphis Farmers and Chad Gatlin. Sports 56, 96.1, and 87.7 FM.
Watch out now. Man, what kind of way is that to start a promo? We want to tell the people about R&R on Sports every Saturday morning, 9 a.m. here on Sports 56, 96.1, and 87.7. Watch out now.
Head on over to Frontier Western Store for their famous February sale. This is Frontier's biggest sale of the year, and it is the time to save big on boots and apparel. All men's jeans are now on sale. Ariat denim, $10 off. Wrangler and Carhartt pants, $5 off. Select styles marked down even more, up to half price. There's huge savings on Carhartt shirts as well. Select clearance shirts and outerwear up to 50% off. Ariat shirts and jackets discounted as well. Hurry in for best selections. Women's t-shirts by Simply Southern, Girly Girl, and Puppy Love as low as $10. Frontier has markdowns in the boot room as well. Hundreds of boots by Double H, Rocky, Durango, and Ariat. Now priced to move to make room for new spring arrivals. Stop by Frontier today and grab your next pair of dress or work boots. It's the famous February sale at Frontier Western Store, 5880 Goodman Road in Olive Branch, and on the web at frontierwesternstore.com. Family owned and operated since 1967.
Hey folks, I'm Jarrett Carter. My family recently purchased East Memphis Ace Hardware at Quince and White Station, and we're excited to offer the best selection of Big Green Egg and Traeger grills. And then don't forget about our Benjamin Moore Paint Studio and the Garden Center for flowers. Save 60% with our new Duracell key fob replacement program. We have a master locksmith service as well as glass cutting and screen repair. The East Memphis Ace Hardware, located at Quince and White Station behind Three Little Pigs.
Make your day smoking with the Big Green Egg. You can smoke, bake, roast, sear, and grill, all with a lifetime warranty. Ceramic never rusts, and the easy, accurate temperature control gives you the greatest range of any grill. Make your next grill your last with the Big Green Egg. Available at these nearby locations: Hamilton Fireplace Shop, 4462 Summer Avenue; Germantown Hardware Company, 2083 South Germantown Road; Garden Spas and Pool, 9393 Poplar Avenue; and East Memphis Ace Hardware, 5143 Quince Road.
The Can-Am Spring Fever event is here and ready to take you on the ultimate off-road ride and get you some serious savings. Can-Am is built for ripping through trails, crawling through mud, cruising over dunes, getting the job done. Get it done for less. Farmers and ranchers can save up to $1,500 on select 2020 Defender models, or even on select 2019 models, save up to $2,500 during the Spring Fever event. Get yourself a new Can-Am off-road vehicle at a great price. Visit us today, Olive Branch Motorsports, 5656 Goodman Road, or online at obmotorcycleatv.com.
Got something you want to get off your chest?
You better have a backup plan.
Want to join the conversation?
Someone needs to tell him he has to grow up.
Join us on the First Bank phone lines at 360-8255 or the First Bank text line at 67129. Welcome back to Sports 56 Happy Hour with Johnny Radio. This hour is brought to you by MemphisFarmers.com. Insurance coverage backed by a local agent and a brand trusted nationwide. We are farmers. MemphisFarmers.com.
Show me the way to the
Yo, what up? Welcome back into a little Sports 56 Happy Hour with your boy Johnny Radio. John Luke joins me right this second. We are going to talk a little more football because it is a Tuesday. It is not quite hump day yet, people. We are making it through the week. Monday is gone. We've made it through over half a Tuesday. It's 1:30, people, man. We're in the second segment. We got my man coming up right now, John Luke McCord. If you have not been following him, I don't know what you're doing. If you know football, if you like football, if you care about the South, and especially the great state of Mississippi, I think John Luke and at JL Grinded on Twitter is probably one of the best follows you could possibly find because from high school to college, to pro, to the XFL, to the AFL, to wherever the heck these guys go, to Johnny Manziel tweeting out things in the middle of the night. He knows it all. He keeps up with it. He is stuck to it. He loves it. John Luke, tell me a little something. Is life treating you well?
You know, it just every time Johnny Manziel's name is mentioned, and I will say I don't know if this is a testament to how bad my memory is, or just that I like to laugh at everything in life. I really wish some of those College Station moments stuck out when Johnny Manziel's name is mentioned. But all I can think about is these direct auto insurance commercials, man. I have to think that when you take that spokesperson job, if you're Johnny Manziel, you know the career is officially over.
Yeah, that does kind of hurt. But why is it that he had to erase his Twitter account after that? Because I don't think the tweet that he sent to Oliver Luck was such a... Was it as bad to where he had to erase it? Because, I mean, Antonio Brown's Twitter account, like, damn, if you're on a racing account, that's one you want to erase. Like, Johnny Manziel, I've seen worse from him. So I'm kind of curious. Did he wake up the next day and feel really low for reaching out to the XFL so publicly?
Possibly. I mean, I kind of feel like that's definitely something where, like, maybe it had to be a reversing course on his part. Kind of one of those things that seemed good late at night, didn't seem so good the next morning when you woke up. Because, I mean, yeah, if you're going to go into full Antonio Brown Twitter world or the Antonio Brown school of Twitter marketing, then, I mean, you've got to go full blow after that one. You can't pull back and delete the account.
There's no y'all aren't buying hashtag comeback season anymore. Are we done with the Johnny Manziel experience?
I think so.
Are you sure with PJ Walker and what he's doing and with the ability? I mean, has PJ Walker not proven he's one of the 64 best quarterbacks in the country? And don't you think with the Underwear Olympics coming up that there's no way that PJ Walker's playing in the XFL next year?
Yeah, but that's PJ Walker. I just don't think that, I mean, looking at Johnny Manziel, I don't think there's any way. I mean, if he goes and tears up the CFL
Who's the tight end, Gabe?
Donald Parham.
Donald Parham.
Oh,
what I'm saying is Johnny Manziel, I'm wondering is Johnny Manziel seeing that there's actually some talent in this league. If you go out there and ball, you can make it back possibly. So that's what I'm trying to wonder because, again, the guy that Gabe's talking about, Gabe, tell
Donald Parham.
Is he
Have you gotten to see him,
ever?
John Luke?
No, I'm not.
He's out of Stetson.
Dude,
6'8", 240.
So
and in last week, he's been actually tearing up the league. Had a few touchdowns so far in the first 3 weeks. But 6'8", 240, and he reached up to 23 miles per hour last week on a touchdown catch. So, I mean, this guy, he's out of Stetson. We were trying to look him up, all this recruiting stuff.
We were laughing,
John,
man.
and it's hilarious because, like, how does a guy
get to
who
Stetson.
is 6'8", 240, tight end, run that fast, and ends up at Stetson?
And then we found out his high school numbers, and they were really bad. So he has done a lot of growing lately in his life. But you know what? There are late bloomers. That's the thing in life. There are many late bloomers, and that's something about, I think, the XFL that does kind of, I don't know, it gives a little gravitas to it. Because these two players that I'm mentioning, I feel like watching PJ Walker is straight enjoyment. Like, I watch this kid play. I feel like he's running around, and he does remind me of a young Johnny Manziel or a Patrick Mahomes or Kyler Murray or Baker Mayfield back in the day at Oklahoma. Like, watching him play, it's fun, and he's into the deadgum games. And then seeing my man, what's his name again? Parham?
Parham.
Just makes me feel
it's like the third time. You got to remember it.
It's just, I don't, like, when I see him, he doesn't.
Made one out here disrespecting him.
Unequivocally, he does not look like he belongs in the XFL.
Did y'all, I know that, talking XFL here, but the Combine just, it's starting up. Did y'all see Jerry Jeudy this morning?
I didn't.
So he wears a Star of David necklace. Did you see this, John Luke?
I didn't see this.
He wears a Star of David necklace, and that's, obviously for the Jewish religion. That's the, symbol. He wears it, and they ask him about it. They're just sort of trying to figure it out.
No, please don't say he just thought he liked it.
No.
Oh,
it's because his teammates call him Jew.
Oh.
So he got that, and he said, but I'm not Jewish, though. And then he ended up going and apologizing about it.
He didn't.
Do you have to apologize for something like that nowadays?
I don't know. Yeah, kind of. I think
I guess you religious folks, you can get mad.
I'm going to say, hold on. See, this is where I get offended. The kid at Tennessee who's 18 years old, who said to the Auburn kid who's 18 years old, who said during the free throw, Go back to what, Uruguay? He gets thrown out for life and like basically kicked out of school and labeled a racist and put on, you know what I mean? Billboard. I mean, basically, if you're on the cover of the newspaper, you're in some deep trouble. If you know what I'm saying, like that's where OJ and stuff belongs, like in the white Bronco. So this didn't help this young man, and I'm not excusing bad behavior, but it's amazing how like Jerry Jeudy can do that, or Mark Cuban can run out into the court and act like a 2-year-old child or a toddler who you would want to yank off the court and give him a spanking, but he's the owner of the team and does it continuously. So it's like, I don't understand why we constantly excuse behavior because of their talent or their bank account, but then other people, we are so willing to just drop the guillotine. Cut that head off. We are.
I didn't think it was that big a deal, Jerry Jeudy wise.
I know. No, I'm not saying it was a big deal, but I also didn't think what the kid at Auburn did at 18 years old was an ordeal where he deserved to be on the front page of every single paper across the country and labeled a racist. Like he will never get a job the rest of his life, like ever.
It'll be tough.
It will be tough. Like it's over. Tough. Sorry,
but. I know, John Luke, did you catch our debate earlier?
I did, man. This is what I'm wanting to get to. I mean,
you want to get to it? I thought you wanted to avoid it. See?
Some people like to. Some people like to touch the fire.
So I'll take it. We'll just flatten it out here. What do you think about Jalen Hurts as a pro NFL prospect?
Look, I'm not a fan of him ever being a starter. I don't think. I mean, look, if he does, it's going to be a great story. But no, I'm not a fan of him ever becoming a starter in the league. Do I think there's a place that he could sit around and be at practice and put a uniform on? Certainly. I think that, yeah, there are quarterbacks in the league that he's better than, frankly, that he's younger than and thus better than. So, look, I think there's a spot for him. I don't think there's one of those 32 spots that, one of those coveted starting positions that he's going to be able to get. I mean, just no way. No way.
I never said he was going to be a starter, but I said if he was going to be a backup, is there not a situation out there that's better than another? Like you sure as heck don't want to put him behind Tom Brady.
When you're talking quarterback, the situation is probably the most important factor. Yeah, and I mean, it's one of the most important factors.
Joe Montana wouldn't be Joe Montana if he went to Tampa Bay.
Exactly, and as you so famously told us, I mean, Joe Burrow might not ever get a chance to be Joe Burrow because he's going to Cincinnati. And so, look, I think certainly there's a good situation out there for him. But look, I think at best, we're looking at a guy who maybe can come in and give a little bit like Dak Prescott has in the NFL. I think he certainly has that level of ability. But
I guess, again, you know what, I want to ask you then, why is it all of a sudden, here's my question for you. How is it that you can be the 2016 Offensive Player of the Year in the SEC? How is it you can be the first starting quarterback at 17 years old, first true freshman starting quarterback in the history of a Nick Saban program, everybody says Nick Saban's the greatest coach ever? How is it that you also are humble enough and mature enough to get benched your junior year after you have been the SEC Player of the Year, won a national title, and then this kid takes over, you come back, you win the SEC championship game, you help them, you know what I'm saying? How you're that mature. Then you go and you complete 70% of your passes, you throw for 3,900 yards, you throw for 32 touchdowns, 8 interceptions, you run for another, 12. I'm just saying, or 20 or something. It was ridiculous what he did. What I mean is finish second in the Heisman race. What I mean is I'm not saying he's an NFL starter. I'm saying, damn, if Tim Tebow is a leader of men.
I never thought he should.
And I didn't say first. I never, ever. No. He was a first-round draft pick just because Josh McDaniels was crazy. What I'm saying is, though, if you want to build a football team and if you truly believe that it's every single, like the weakest link on your team makes you the weakest of all, if your backup quarterback is somebody with the character of a Jalen Hurts, I feel like you're doing pretty damn good.
Yeah, I mean, no doubt. But look, one reason that he was able to, win that Offensive Rookie of the Year award in the SEC a couple years back is, frankly, look, the SEC was still in a period of transition. A lot of teams are trying to run up-tempo spread offenses. a lot of teams did not have the dual threat quarterback that Jalen Hurts was able to be there in year one. I think another thing too is look, potentially before this season at Oklahoma, that was his best year. That was the year to hang his hat on. He came out of high school ready to contribute. And I was familiar with him as a recruit. Dan Mullen recruited him hard, trying to get him to Mississippi State. And again, it was a guy coming out of high school that could squat, well over 500 pounds. I mean, he was a beast coming out. He went to high school in Texas. I mean, everybody knows that those guys kind of come out closer to their ceilings by and large than a lot of other states. And so I think that he was ready to play and close to his, top end potential already coming out of high school, closer than a lot of elite quarterbacks are. And then with what he did at Oklahoma, look, there's two things in that combination for me. Big 12 defenses are terrible. I think a lot of quarterbacks could go to that league.
You went 26-2 in the SEC.
Yeah, absolutely. And look, played on a great team in the SEC. Played for a great team. I think that we all look at what happened, and as far as Jalen Hurts' NFL potential, you can look back to what happened at Alabama. He got benched for an NFL quarterback because he was a college quarterback. And I think that that's what it boils down to. Again, he did what he did at Oklahoma. He had one of the best groups of receivers in the country. He was playing for one of the best offensive coaches in football, and he was playing against some of the worst collections.
You have to answer this one question. Are you telling me that coming out of school, Taysom Hill or Jordan Love are better than Jalen Hurts?
I would definitely take a chance with Jordan Love over him. Taysom Hill, I mean,
he's backing up Drew Brees now.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, and potentially the guy there with, one play. So look, whatever, Sean Payton, I guess we all kind of give him a pass for the offensive genius he holds inside. And so look, whatever he's got going on with Taysom Hill, I can't figure it out.
Weird that he didn't play when Drew Brees went out. Still think that's weird.
That is weird. He clearly wasn't going to be the long-term option. Maybe a specialty relief guy, certainly, and a guy they love to have in those packages. But I'm not sure he's long-term. I would take a chance on Jordan Love before I took a chance on Jalen Hurts, just because of the top-end potential you have in Love and being able to put together a downfield passing attack versus with Jalen Hurts, you're going to have to cater your offense.
And of course, that's never that doesn't give you a full barometer, because sometimes we take chances on these big quarterbacks with big arms and they suck. They're just bad.
Mm-hmm.
You look
Jamarcus
at Russell. You look at all these guys. But I want to stay along this QB talk right here. And this Tua, obviously the top two on most boards probably are Tua and Joe Burrow. Now, a lot of times I think Joe Burrow in this conversation has gotten the benefit of the doubt because of what he did last year in 1 year. But if Tua never got hurt, who are y'all taking first?
Tua all day long.
That's the conversation I want to have here, because you look at what Tua was able to do over those years, able to obviously take a spot from a very, very good quarterback in Jalen Hurts.
Mm-hmm.
Won a national championship. I don't think there's even a debate that if he would have never had the hip injury, he's supposed to be back on March 9th, that he'd be the first quarterback off the board.
I agree with you. 100%.
Look, he's the reason the Miami Dolphins were tanking or whatever the heck they were trying to do.
Tanking for Tua.
Tanking for Tua. I mean, no doubt he would be the top prospect on the board, regardless. Like you said, Gabe, I mean, really, I think of what Joe Burrow was able to do this year, and he was incredibly accurate. But there's no way Tua doesn't feel like a safer prospect. And a guy, look, frankly, just a guy we've seen do it longer. But with that one injury, his body of work then became secondary to, oh, wow, he's a guy that's seemingly, been prone to injuries. And frankly, he's got this one injury now that, I mean, somebody like me, and I mean, I don't run an NFL team. He went from being the top guy on the board for me potentially to just not draftable. Look, if I get beat on a guy like Tua in this draft, then good luck for another team. Good luck to another team taking that risk. But at this point, I mean, without having seen him get back up on his feet and play more games, I'd be a little bit worried. And again, you combine that with his history. It always seemed to be something that was ailing Tua.
Yeah, the one thing is availability is probably the biggest thing when it comes to playing in any sport. But I do have to say, when it comes to just simple talent, since basically Trevor Lawrence and Tua Tagovailoa, heck, even Kyler Murray when he was playing in college, He was, he's not the size. Tua's not that much bigger, but he still is a little bit bigger. And he did it at Alabama, and the comeback at Clemson just made him live up and become so large. But the thing that I hate about it is that I felt was ready, to come back for that next year, had those injuries. And I do hate the fact that this injury, and yes, he has come out and said that his doctors have told him that he's going to be just as good as he was. And of course, he's going to say that. The last thing I want to ask is, do you find it weird that the one team that does release, or the one newspaper that does release a negative medical report on Tua happens to be the Miami Herald? Or did you even see that one?
I didn't see that.
No, I mean, it is certainly food for thought there. It's
almost kind of like even the Miami Herald's trying to fight for him. You know what I mean? Oh, look,
don't draft him. Don't
draft him, everybody out there, because look at the medicals are bad. It's kind of almost gotten funny and comical. Like Miami, ever since Dan Marino's left, they hadn't had a quarterback. Then they're all upset now that they lost Tannehill, and now he playing good. It's just kind of, the whole situation is hilarious. But anyway, Tank for Tua is going to be fascinated. We're going to talk about Joe Burrow and his little hands. By the way, how do you feel about them little hands? Can he hold the ball in Cincinnati? Is that why Dwayne Haskins beat him out? They were like, hey,
your hands are too small,
guys,
buddy.
y'all, this has been too close of a competition. Put up your hands. And then they're like, Haskins, you got the job.
Let's see who's gonna catch these hands. Oh, Joe, you're disqualified there. Sorry, bud. Better luck next year.
Golly.
No, look, I mean,
Joe Burrow was the guy in the Mini Whopper commercial.
The little hand, dude.
Oh gosh, dude. Oh man. No, I think some people are going to definitely catch these hands from Joe Burrow. I mean, certainly, look, he's going to go number one. I think that he's going to justifiably go number one. But again, if you're Miami, I mean, it has to be a thing where we're just going to we rode this out. We created this hashtag. We created this movement. We got to stick by our guns, because I don't know how you can't be worried going out and trying to draft him.
I just love talking with you, JL Grinding on Twitter. John Luke McCord, the man, the myth, the living legend. We do it every single Tuesday. We love talking football with you. You are the best in the business. We usually talk a lot of Ole Miss and Mississippi State. We really didn't have a chance to get into it this weekend or this week, but hey, we'll get into it next week. I love rapping with you, and again, always go to @JL Grinding on Twitter. John Luke, tell the people what you're working on and what can I see coming down the pipeline.
Well, look, I actually want to use this time just to get some off my chest.
Ooh.
The early Heisman hype for making John Rice Plumlee a dark horse Heisman candidate is absolutely absurd. The Pro Football look, just anywhere you see this man's name listed as a dark horse Heisman candidate,
I didn't even know about this.
Do not believe it. It's fake news. We can get into it more next week. John Rice Plumlee for Heisman talk is absolutely absurd. He's not even going to be the starting quarterback.
Clickbait from hell. You heard it from John Luke. He won't even be the starting quarterback. I couldn't see how he could be under Lane Kiffin myself. John Luke, be good out there, brother.
See y'all, guys. Bye.
That's my man, John Luke. I'm late, but I'll be back in 2 shakes. Always remember MemphisFarmers.com and Sports 56, 96.1, and, of course, 87.7 FM.
Want to get your voice heard? Hit us up on the First Bank phone line or First Bank text line.
Let's up your life with Lads.
Spring is almost here, and this is the perfect time to visit Lads of Memphis for all your golf cart and lawn tractor needs. Visit their open house on Saturday, March 7th, and check out the new Spartan mowers and current promotions. Test drive a new Club Car Onward golf cart and spin the prize wheel for a chance to win up to $500 in Lads credit.
Lads, up your life with Lads. Lads, up your life.
Hi, it's me, your nose. I'm so congested. Use the Vicks Sidex nasal spray, would you? Mouth breather. Yeah, the Vicks Sidex nasal spray. Starts working in seconds and lasts for up to 12 hours.
I can breathe again. Vicks Sinex nasal spray is incredible. I feel like a whole new nose. Oh, let's buy a new car so we can smell it. Oh, we're really breathing now.
For nasal congestion relief, get Vicks Sinex and breathe freely fast. Use as directed.
You're in charge of hiring, and Indeed has solutions, like online skills tests, which let a candidate show that they're the right hire. Indeed will also give you this sticky frog, which will suddenly leap and stick to the face of the perfect hire. Okay, there's no sticky frog. But skills tests, that's a for sure.
See why independent research by Silk Road shows Indeed delivers 3 times more hires than any other job site. Visit Indeed.com/promo today and get a free sponsored job upgrade on your first posting. Terms, conditions, and exclusions apply.
If you've always thought, hey, I'd look pretty good in Lexus, well, guess what? Lexus thinks so too. Lexus is offering you the Golden Opportunity Sales Event. Great offers on all 2020 models and special lease options. Drive in luxury and confidence, knowing that every new Lexus comes with complimentary first and second maintenance services. Stop by Lexus of Memphis, 2600 Ridgeway, and put yourself in the driver's seat of an all-new 2020 flagship LS500. Hey, you look pretty good there. Lexus Golden Opportunity Sales Event at Lexus of Memphis. Experience amazing.
Hey folks, I'm Jarrett Carter. My family recently purchased East Memphis Ace Hardware at Quince and White Station, and we're excited to offer the best selection of Big Green Egg and Traeger grills. And then don't forget about our Benjamin Moore Paint Studio and the Garden Center for flowers. Save 60% with our new Duracell key fob replacement program. We have a master locksmith service as well as glass cutting and screen repair. The East Memphis Ace Hardware, located at Quince and White Station behind Three Little Pigs.
Welcome back to Sports 56 Happy Hour with Johnny Radio.
Kick it over here.
This hour is brought to you by MemphisFarmers.com. Insurance coverage backed by a local agent and a brand trusted nationwide. We are farmers. MemphisFarmers.com.
Thick and thin, I'm your pusher man. I'm your pusher man.
Welcome back into Sports 56 Happy Hour with your good buddy Johnny Radio. Y'all know Gabe Kuhn. Jalen's in the hizzy. Jalen, where you at on Twitter, brother?
You can follow me at Possibly Reality.
See, every time you say that, I think you're going to say possibly, like,
possibly.
My name is possibly this or possibly that. But, like, possibly, it throws me off.
Dude, it just makes me, honestly, to tell you the truth, makes me want to read it.
Should we make him change it?
Have you all
Should we
read
make him
the
change
Yellow
it?
Bus? Or anything by Jack Kerouac.
Should we make them change it like they do
No,
on
dude, I
Sports
like
56
possibly
mornings?
reality, dude. It makes me again think like the acid test and Jack Kerouac. I don't even know what I'm talking about.
No, sure don't. Sure as hell don't. So, we have some texts, and look, me and John love each other. It's okay, we made up.
Can I just say the funniest thing? First of all, during the last segment, the Burger King hands. I almost lost it. I couldn't. I tried to stay quiet.
That's one of the best. That's a good commercial.
I had to
Good
hold it
commercial
as tight
campaign.
as I could. I couldn't breathe for about a minute because I almost just busted out laughing. That was hilarious. And then reading this text, skipping Sausage Thursday this week. Too much tension going on.
And the same person chimed in earlier, right before we started this, and said, "No fighting today, boys."
Hey, I am so sorry. I apologize. We weren't fighting. And by the way, my attention is not towards Gabe. I'm listening to Middays. I love Middays. Y'all know I love Middays. Y'all know I love Gabe Kuhn. And I like to fight, by the way. I like to argue. I can't help it. That's just my nature if you haven't figured that one out. I also like to be nice and like people, except for when they get knocked out feeding them burritos. But listening to Gabe today, that was not funny, by the way. Dude, you know when I fed the dudes the burritos and the dude with the one leg started hopping and I turned around and ran into the pole and knocked myself out? Yeah. Woke up and there was like 6 homeless dudes like in a burrito laying on me.
Where do you get the burritos from?
Dude, Taco Bell, right down the street.
Okay.
Yeah. Always go get on the breakfast burritos. They're really cheap and it's dope. Anyway, point is, I think y'all were talking with, to be honest with you, that Tony
Pauline.
That's it. Tony Pauline. And listen.
Hey, you can disagree with
No disrespect to Mr. Pauline. Thank you for coming on with Middays and doing stuff with Sports 56. But again, my anger was with his draft analysis because I watched the exact same thing that I almost don't believe he watched now.
Yeah, you were telling me I believe what he believed. I was losing it.
I was like, well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm texting him, and that's what I'm not texting. I'm listening to the radio. So I can't sit there and yell at Greg. He's on the radio. I can't talk to Tony Pauline. He's like a video on the radio. But I can sure text Gabe and tell him how mad I am and how much I disagree. And then I just brought that in here. So again, it wasn't towards my man. So guess what? we're not going to skip Sausage Thursday.
No,
all right,
of course
buddy?
not. Sausage Thursday for life, man. Thirsty Thursday. Hey, but Raider Corey came in early when we were talking about Wilder versus Fury. He says Wilder needs to own the fact he got his butt whipped, no excuses. And to be honest, I wouldn't fight Fury again right away. You know what, Raider Corey? I agree completely. And that's a scary fight if you're Wilder, because Wilder's not a technical striker, whereas Fury is. And Fury showed that he can knock him directly on his butt when he wants to.
I will say the weakest thing I've ever heard in my life may have been the Bagel Boy backing out.
Why do we have to talk about Bagel Boy?
Because,
poor guy,
hold
man.
on.
Let's not do Bagel Boy like this.
Let me just tell you this. I hate to be bad, but the only person who disappointed me more than Bagel Boy is now Deontay Wilder.
Yeah. Okay.
Like, I wore a 40-pound suit, and we walked 10 minutes, and it was a mask, and I had batteries, and my legs were gone.
Before.
Hold up. You're a professional athlete, homie. You know what you got going down. Just like my man's a professional, Chad Gatlin, MemphisFarmers.com, Real Deal Holyfield. Save me over $500. He's going to save you more. All you have to do is go to MemphisFarmers.com, check him out, thank me later. I promise you, you will. Coming up next, we get nasty on all things NFL and reality. But this is, well, Sports 56 and my man Possibly Reality on Sports 56, 96.1 and 87.7 FM.
It's not too early to start planning for spring at Family Leisure. New pools are starting at $19.99, spas starting at $21.99, and swim spas now only $99.99. 5-piece patio furniture starts at only $799. Pool chemicals, toys, accessories, and more up to 20% off. Mention this ad, you'll get free delivery and 1 month of chemicals with your spa purchase. Start your spring planning now at Family Leisure, Whitten Road and I-40, where family and fun come together.
It's February. Hi, this is John Conway with Conway Services. Are you considering replacing your air conditioning system this spring? Conway Services and Carrier have teamed up to make now the perfect time to replace that old energy-guzzling system. February is one of our slowest months of the year. Our warehouse is full and our crews are slow. So to spark business during these slow winter months, Conway Services is giving away Carrier 80% gas furnaces absolutely free with the purchase of a standard Carrier air conditioning system. That's right, purchase a Carrier air conditioning system in the month of February and get the gas furnace for free. If that's not enough, we'll include an April air cleaner, a 10-year parts warranty, and a free Nest thermostat. Plus 12 months interest free. See why I call it February? And you know with Conway Services, you'll be receiving our award-winning service every time. So call Conway Services, the Mid-South's premier heating, cooling, plumbing, and electric service company. And the first 30 callers with a 10-year-old heating and air conditioning system will come out and inspect it absolutely free.
Call 384-3511. Conway Services. Call Conway today.
Your Memphis Tigers football program completed the greatest season in program history with 12 wins, a conference championship, and a berth in the Goodyear Cotton Bowl. Season tickets for the 2020 season are on sale now and start at just $100 when you buy 4 in the family fun zone or $150 for end zone seating. Get your season tickets by May 15th and receive a free gift, concessions deals, exclusive access to regular season and postseason tickets, and more. Get your season tickets today at GoTigersGo.com or call 901-678-2331. Memphis Tigers football.
You're in charge of hiring, and Indeed has solutions, like online skills tests, which let a candidate show that they're the right hire. And we'll give you this barbershop quartet who'll sing the name of the perfect hire.
Vince Lundy.
Vince Lundy.
Vince Lundy. Vince Lundy.
Okay, there's no quartet. But skills tests, that's a for sure.
See why independent research by Silk Road shows Indeed delivers 3 times more hires than any other job site. Visit Indeed.com/promo today and get a free sponsored job upgrade on your first posting. Terms, conditions, and exclusions apply.
Did you learn your ABCs when you were a kid? Well, as a grown-up, it's time to learn your CBDs, as in CBD edibles, oil tincture, pain cream, and beauty products. All found at Your CBD Store, with 3 locations, Poplar Avenue, North Germantown Parkway, and Goodman Road East. You'll find all natural, organic, and non-GMO products. Need to learn more? Your CBD Store has a knowledgeable and friendly staff that can answer questions, help with choices, and put you at ease about your CBDs. Your CBD Store, with 3 locations, Poplar Avenue, Cordova, and South Haven. Your CBD Store, making it as easy for you as ABC CBD.
Play it loud.
We are real sports talk. Sports 56, 96.1, and 87.7. Available on your radio dial at 560 AM, 96.1, and 87.7 FM, as well as online around the world at sports56whbq.com. Take us with you everywhere on your phone or tablet by downloading the Sports 56 app, and at home, tell Alexa or Google to play Sports 56. If it's happening in the world of sports, we've got it covered. Wherever you are, stay tuned to Real Sports Talk. Sports 56, 96.1, and 87.7. We are Sports 56 WHBQ Memphis, WIVG-FM Tunica Memphis, and WPG-FLP Memphis. Flynn Broadcasting Stations. Welcome to Sports 56 Happy Hour with Johnny Radio. On AM 560, 96.1 FM, and 87.7 FM. This hour is brought to you by your CBD store, your one-stop for all your natural, organic, and non-GMO CBD products, where good health hits home.
Get out right here. Ladies and gentlemen. And now?
Now, the only man to ever win the World Series of Poker with a Scrabble board, Johnny Harden.
Yo, welcome back into a little Johnny Radio's Happy Hour. Man, I'm so excited. I got my man G_Coon 71 hanging out because possibly reality, Jalen is running the boards. So check him out. My man's doing a great job. He's making us sound good. And we've been rapping. We talked a lot earlier about quarterbacks in the first segment. Then we got crazy and we talked John Luke and we did all this good stuff.
We yelled at each other a little bit.
And then we did a little this and that. We had a lot of fun, man. That's what we do, man. That's what we do, man. But now we got the Underwear Olympics coming up on a Thursday. We got all kinds of stuff going on. But I have to ask you right now, and I really want to know this question. And I'm asking you this.
Okay.
Because I got a text here that said, why are you picking on Georgia? I ain't picking on Georgia. I'm picking on Kirby Smart. Georgia has more 5-star commits than Alabama. They have just as many 4-star commits as everybody not named Alabama, because they have 15. Alabama has 17. And they have more 3-stars than Alabama, 6-4. Their average recruiting, 92.9, actually beats Alabama's, well, yeah, it does, 92 by 4/10 a point or something. Mm-hmm. So they're very close. But here's what I want to tell you and ask you, not tell you. Georgia, they would have had, Justin Fields, man, who's in Ohio State. Justin Fields, with this Georgia team, would there be a question that they would win the national championship or at least the SEC?
To be honest, it's very disappointing considering how much QB talent he had
Jacob Eason
3 years ago, and just let it all slip through and stuck with Jake Fromm, who, by all accounts, 2 years ago was a great quarterback, and then last year sort of threw me off as far as his ability to be a quarterback at the next level, but he still left for the NFL.
Yeah, by the way,
still going to be an NFL pick. There's a lot of scouts that like him still, which is crazy to me.
Well, hold on. Can I do something really fun? You want to play a really fun game?
What's it called?
Yesterday we made fun of
What's it called?
Little Hands.
Okay.
And we called Burger King boy Joe Burrow, right?
Yeah.
Well, did you know what Jake Fromm's hand size were?
Probably a little bigger, right?
8 7/8, baby.
You're kidding me.
He's smaller than even Joe Burrow.
Lord.
But yet you kept Jacob Eason, who is a full-grown 6'4", massive man, 10 hands, throws bullets. You kept him for Jake Fromm. And then Justin Fields, who's flat out, when this dude plays quarterback in college football, he looks like he's playing at a different, he looks like he's playing in a different game than everybody else. Does he not? In all honesty, I thought they had it until they played Clemson the second half. I got to give it to Brett Venables. He had a great defensive game plan, but a couple balls that were dropped. My man, J.K. Dobbins, I know he's got to think to himself, hey, I catch that ball, we win the national championship. And plus a horrible call by the refs, but we ain't going to blame that. But Justin Fields, let's just be honest. When it comes to college quarterback, Trevor Lawrence is probably the better NFL prospect. Mm-hmm. But would you rather have Justin Fields over anybody else for your college program?
See, that's a deep question. I haven't had time to digest. Absolutely, because he's very multifaceted in what he can do. He can throw really well too.
And by the way, that's what ticked me off about Kirby Smart, saying he couldn't throw great.
But then
ball.
remember all those preseason. Damn,
he couldn't pick up
He couldn't pick up Ryan Day's offense.
There's no way he'll pick up Ryan Day's offense. That all came from Georgia.
He was truthfully within that system better than all that they've had before.
Yep.
Dwayne Haskins was a first-round pick. He was better. No one in Ohio State missed Dwayne Haskins last year. Not a single person.
Everybody was all into Justin Fields, 6'3", dude runs like a 4.3 40. He also can throw the ball on a dime, and he is. Let's just be honest. Other than Trevor Lawrence, is there anybody that's even going to push Trevor Lawrence for the number 1 pick next year?
No.
I don't think so.
Not
either.
a chance just because of who Trevor Lawrence is. He was the number 1 recruit.
Dude, he's lost one
game. He's proved it. He's lost one game.
26-1.
He's been at 2 years, 2 national championships.
Yeah, he's 1-1.
He's 6'6", 220. He's got a cannon for an arm. The one thing right now I would say about Trevor Lawrence, and I think you would probably agree to a certain extent, is he's a little erratic at times. Not always, but at times he's not as polished as he should be as a passer. But he's also 19 years old.
I was getting ready to say he's 19, and yes, I know exactly what you're talking about. I've seen a couple times that left tackle get beat. He takes a couple hard hits to the back. Next thing you know, he starts getting a little happy feet, and he starts pushing himself towards.
It don't matter, though.
Hey, he's just pushing
It's
himself
about what
right.
he can be,
but
not what he is.
And I was going to say the guy is out of control. But as much as I love Trevor Lawrence, I think 2020 will be the year of Justin Fields. Like, I just think that the man is going to go out there and be the most elite college quarterback we've seen in a long time. And, I mean, yes, we've seen some elite ones just at Ohio State. You go back to Troy Smith. You go back to, heck, Cardell Jones' run. You go back to even J.T. Barrett and Haskins, 51 touchdown passes. You go back to, heck, who was the little Joe Germain with the little red hair, dude, Terrell Pryor. There's been some great quarterbacks that have played at Ohio State. But like this young man is the best by far, and I'm basically going to just do this, and then I'm going to get off of it in a minute. But does he basically end like after Ohio State beats Michigan again? Like, are they going to ask Harbaugh back?
Yes. What are you talking about? He wins 10 games a year. Look, you can say what you want about him not beating Ohio State. You can say what you want.
That's true.
You can say what you want. He wins 10 games a year and goes to a New Year's Six Bowl occasionally. He's never going to be I don't think he'll ever be in the Final Four here. I don't think he'll ever be in the college football playoff, but it's tough. For Michigan fans, that's got to be horrible. You just can't beat Ohio State. It's been so long.
It's the worst thing in the world. Are you
So
kidding
real
me?
quick, obviously NFL Combine. I'm going to finish up here. We got a couple of Memphis prospects in it. Obviously, they weighed in today. Weird situation here. Antonio Gibson was listed as a running back leading up to this. He's actually listed as a wide receiver going into it. He was 6 foot 228.
Whoa. Did you say 6 foot?
6 foot 228 listed as a wide receiver. Patrick Taylor came in actually 6'1", 220, 217 to be exact. Longest arms for a running back. Does that help you?
I don't
Long
care.
arms as a running back?
No.
Longest
he
running
gets
back
arm, I
arms.
guess,
Longest running back
But you know
arms.
what, man? I like seeing Derrick Henry just like power people down with that stiff arm. That's a man stiff arm right there,
dude,
dog.
Man. It's a big dude.
I got to bring that up with the Tom Brady stuff in a minute. But go ahead, please. I want to hear more about these Tigers. So we had Antonio Gibson. We had Patrick Taylor.
Yeah. And I just told you their measurements. That's all I got for you.
That's
it.
That is kind of weird, though. Do you think Antonio Gibson wants to be a wide receiver?
I think he wants to be what he can be. I think the thing is, like,
me in the Degum League.
He looked fantastic.
What do you think
he's
going to run?
In the Senior
What's
Bowl,
he going to run?
I gotta imagine like a 4.5, 4.4, somewhere in there. Patrick Taylor probably 4.6, 4.7, somewhere in there. But when you talk to a lot of these scouts, they're talking about Patrick Taylor being somewhat of a David Johnson-esque prospect, which is very highly regarded.
See, I like
have to be
Gibson
honest.
better, actually.
Well, I like Gibson because he's got the versatility. He's played wide receiver and he can catch the ball very well. He was really good out of the backfield when Mike Norvell decided to give him that ability last year, and I think he translates really well to the pro game. And he was really good in the Senior Bowl. I didn't know if you got to catch him.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I watched it. Yes,
yeah, he looked really good in the Senior Bowl. Patrick obviously had some of his injury issues, but Patrick is a very good back. We all know that too. He's a big bruiser. Can do a little bit out of the backfield, catching the ball. But there is going to be the injury concerns, and there is going to be the versatility concerns. But I still think he's going to land himself in a good spot.
I have a question that's going to make you kind of think I'm crazy. What if Cincinnati,
more than I already do?
Yeah, you already think it's crazy. What if is there any chance? And this is a very crazy question because we all have sat here and talked about this, and I'm thinking about this. Mm-hmm. We unequivocally say if Tua is healthy, he's the best quarterback and the best player in the draft. Period.
Yeah. He's coming back on March 9th, by the way, which is interesting to me because he got hurt in mid-November. March 9th is not that far off for a hip. Like, I thought it was a much heavier injury than that. Maybe I misdiagnosed.
Well, everybody,
but continue, I apologize.
I got a question for you. What if? Do you know who has the number 2 pick? Do you know who has the number 2 pick?
The Washington Redskins, right?
Yeah. What if they took him?
It's Chase Young.
You don't think they'd take Tua?
That's Chase.
Let him sit back.
That's Chase Young. They handled, a Dwayne Haskins thing last year. So unless they trade away Dwayne Haskins and say he has no chance and sort of Josh Rosen him, which I'll feel bad for Dwayne Haskins, because it was a coaching switch. They have Ron Rivera now. Unless they get rid of Dwayne Haskins, then I think it's off the table completely. But the Giants have actually come in. They're at 4, and they're saying they're in business. They're ready to trade that thing away.
I've also heard it. I mean, everybody and their grandmother is, by the way, let's just be real, trying to take Miami Dolphins because everybody knows Miami wants Tua. So they're trying to get something. And I'm wondering, is Washington playing games with Miami to try to get
these
them to move
teams
up and keep the
play
5 and get
so
that
many
second,
games,
like,
man.
I'm telling you, man. And the one thing I'm going to wonder is, this is just.
These teams play so many mind games with each other. It's ridiculous. This time of year becomes so confusing.
All right. And this is where I want to know because everybody knows that Thursday, the NFL the NFL Combine is going to be actually televised. There's people who are going to be throwing. Joe will not throw. He'll throw at Pro Day, by the way.
Smart move.
I think it is a smart move, especially when you got little hands. Anyway, I'm just joking. But no, for real, he had a great year, and he deserves everything he gets, and he probably will be the first person taken. Joe's the bad man. But I wanted to ask you, because you played offensive line, is Derek Brown literally a top 5 pick?
Top 10 at the least. He's a great player. He translates to a playmaking D-tackle at the next level.
Okay.
And that's what you want. Whereas, like, certain guys last year, like Dexter Lawrence, for example, from Clemson, he was still a really high pick, but he's a plugger D-tackle. He's not necessarily that big playmaking guy. Derek Brown's the playmaker. And everybody wants that on their team nowadays because you look at, like, the Ndamukong Suhs and the Aaron Donalds and the amount of, havoc they wreak, and that's what they term them now is havoc plays when you get people down in the backfield, and he created a lot of those at Auburn. A lot.
I was always wondering who was the best defensive lineman. Was it Javon Kinlaw out of South Carolina?
I like Derek Brown.
Derek Brown.
I like Derek Brown.
And this is
Big
where it
fan of
goes
Derek Brown.
straight next to you. So you're a bigger fan of Derek Brown's? Okay. Then this is where it goes to me. Is there an offensive lineman that matches either one of them? And there's only one I can think of, and it's the kid, what is it, Jedrick Willis out of Alabama.
Jedrick Wills.
He's basically the only one that I can think of that you might offensive line in the top 5.
Do you remember Cody
10.
Ford from last year?
Yes.
Reminds me of him. Reminds me a lot of that guy. No, and that's a good thing. That's not a bad thing. He translates to me as an interior line guy or a right tackle?
Right tackle. So he's not
a left.
That's not
a bad thing.
Personally, in my opinion, in the top 5, you have to be a left tackle. Like, if you're in the top 5.
It's sort of changed nowadays. It's a little different because, like, Quentin Nelson.
Yeah, that's
Quentin Nelson was just so good at guard that you had to take him where you took him.
I see what you're saying, and great centers can also be game
Andrew
changers.
Thomas, Georgia's a good player. Did you hear about this guy? And I obviously I want to change direction of our conversation after this, but did you hear about this guy, Mekhi Becton from Louisville?
Yes, he is a
Have you seen
6'7"
how
freak of
big
nature,
he is?
370-pound
Oh
monster
my
of a man.
Lord!
But have you seen him play?
He plays athletic.
He's the Johnny. He's
He
the
plays
Jolly
athletic.
Green Giant. He's athletic, but
He's
he's
6'8".
also the nicest guy in the
People.
world. Can you make him mean?
6'8", 370. 6'8", 370.
I know exactly what you're talking about. I have read also
Dude
about
is
him.
He'll get drafted higher than he probably should be because of that size. No question. I unequivocally think.
All right, I told you he was a mountain of a man. Did I not? I want to pull this up. Yeah, make sure I got it right.
Who are we talking about?
Mr.
Mekhi.
Yeah, Mekhi Becton.
Yeah.
Mountain of a man. Has the ability to be a better at tackle if the offensive line is going to take the, if the Browns, or they were saying take it, he could be a perfect fit for the Browns. They're saying he's a mountain of a man. He's got great arms, good hands.
Definitely for the Browns because you know what happened to them. They're starting left tackle.
You mean the marijuana man?
Yeah, you're talking about that guy. Yeah, he's probably not going to play next year.
So
I
Mekhi
have a hunch.
Mekhi would be probably a good one, but it does. There's one thing I was going to ask you. This simple question. Is that me?
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. I was going to ask you this about Mr. Becton. If this is where it says, and it's if, what about him? And when an offensive line when they say the guy doesn't have that nasty, does that worry you?
No, I get tired of that. I'm not saying it's super overrated, but I've seen him on film get after people, put people on the ground, finish them, and I think that's sort of with him. Not a concern. He's so big. He's so massive that a mean streak to me doesn't really fall under a concern with him.
Would you take him over than Willis? Because that's what they say basically.
Well, it depends. It depends what my need is. Depends what my need is. Because Mekhi Becton's big enough he can play left, right, left tackle, right tackle. Whereas if you're looking for an interior guy or a right tackle, you go Wills every day of the week because I think Wills is more talented.
And he's got, they say, that mean streak.
Oh,
by the way,
they say just like Cody Ford did at Oklahoma. Same.
See, you know
prospect.
that even when you're that mean sucker, defensive linemen don't like those mean. And
well,
by the way, let's just be real.
But also,
like Richie Incognito,
mean streak
literally
becomes a
knocked
problem at
a
times.
nice guy out of the league just by like beating up on him. The kid from Stanford. Remember that? Who was it? You remember?
Oh, Jonathan Martin.
Like Jonathan Martin.
That's wrong.
I'm just
man.
saying. I know it was
That's
horribly.
so
It was wrong. But what I'm just saying is, you have to admit it. In the National Football League, if you're
you gotta
going to
you gotta be wired. You gotta be wired.
You've
a
got to
certain
be
way.
a different man. You are banging your head all day long against the biggest, baddest dudes on planet Earth. I mean, that's
true.
It is a pretty crazy position. So
all right,
that's one thing that does scare me about him.
Real
now,
quick,
let's get to it.
Before we get to Hardwood, can we talk Grizzlies? Can we talk what we expect for the rest of the year, man?
Lately,
that was
right now,
nasty.
that was. I don't want to talk about that Clippers game.
Clippers handled business against the Grizzlies, 124 to 97. Well, it was the first quarter.
I mean,
Clippers handled. 40-14 in the first quarter. It was embarrassing. Grizzlies can't find any offense without.
And I know Jaren Jackson. Jr.
Dylan Brooks.
There,
Dylan Brooks has
goodness.
been one of the most disappointing players since he's gotten that contract. I think it's a coincidence. But he went 1 for 7 last night, 0 for 3 from 3. Was a -11. Ja just can't. He can't get it going if he doesn't have people around him that are going to be able to help him. And I think that's been a big problem lately. But last night, it was over after the first quarter.
I was going to tell you.
Did I think they were going to win? Did I think they had a chance? No.
It went to 11.5. I'm not going to lie to you. I thought for sure they were going to cover. I looked at the way that the Clippers play against, some.
It was full strength Clippers.
Listen,
we must remember.
The Clippers do not get fired up for basically anybody. And it was, you say full strength Clippers, but playoff Paul wasn't going to play more than 20
with Kawhi
minutes,
and Paul
basically.
playing last time when the Grizzlies handled business 141-14 at their place. Paul George was sitting.
That's true.
That's the big difference I'm talking about. And now we're talking after the All-Star break. So this is, for these teams at the top of the Western Conference, it's playoff mode at this point. They have to start getting ready to go.
But you also have to admit, Have you ever seen a team as deep as the Clippers?
No.
Ever?
I
don't think
I haven't gone back and really.
I
but
mean-
they're off the bench. You talk about
You got
Jamichael
Harrell, Lou
Green,
Williams.
Montrezl Harrell, Reggie Jackson, Lou Williams, Landry Shamet. They're too deep, man.
It's disgusting.
They're
It's
too
disgusting.
deep.
They're really they look really good. But I will say this: 14 points in the first. I don't even want to really talk about this very much. But how in the bleep do you give up 40 and only score 14? I don't
when
give a
the
damn.
Clippers were hot.
I know they were
weren't missing,
hot, but
and also
damn.
the Grizzlies' horrible mistakes. They were turning the ball over. It was ugly. I mean, after that they settled in, but you can't go down 40-14 after a quarter and expect to win a game ever.
So what's up
Ever.
with B. Clark, by the way?
Looks like he's got right hip soreness, and he's had problems
How
with
long
both
is he gonna be
hips.
out, you think?
I think it's a day-to-day thing, but he's
That's
had
what they're
problems with
listing.
both
That's
hips.
what they always listen. Day-to-day,
He's had
day-to-day.
problem with
I
both
know.
hips this year, so it's a day-to-day thing. But also with where the Grizzlies are at, they're still sitting in the 8th seed, 28 and 29. They have a ridiculous schedule. Just
Okay.
truthfully, they have the Lakers.
The
coming
toughest
up.
schedule in all of the NBA. Can we bring out something real quick? And let's just be real right now. I got to ask you this. Since we are talking about the Grizzlies, we have to talk about this. And I think it's the most important thing. You mentioned the seed at where they're at. You know who's coming and coming fast. That is the dead gum Pelicans. And my man's not just coming for the Grizzlies, but he's also coming for the Rookie of the Year. And you want to sit there and say, there's no way, John. There's no way. Well, I'm going to tell you something. I took these pictures. Are you ready for this?
No.
So today it says, here's what it says. This was at 10:15 p.m. last night, okay?
Mhm.
Says Tyron. It says, be like a king, rookie season. Rookie numbers. Rookie of the year, yes, LeBron James. Field goal percentage, LeBron James, 41.7%. Zion, 58.6%. Rebounds per game, 5.5 for LeBron, 7.2 for Zion. Points per game, 20.9 for LeBron, 22.8 for...
Let's not mistake the fact that Zion still has an uphill battle with how many games he's played.
I do. He still has an uphill battle. But listen, 20.9, 22.8. PER. Zion is 25. LeBron's rookie year, 18. Ja, 19.
Yep, 12 games.
Hey,
12
games. I'm just saying, if they
Now-
are putting this at home, there's another thing. This was this morning, 6:54. It says, with Williamson, 7-5, 120.9 points per game, without 18, 27, 114.6. Point differential plus 0.62. Field goal percentage 49% to 44%. Oh my gosh,
So
what I'm just basically is all these people who are coming out right now, don't tell me that Zion Mania hasn't gotten so loud that deadgum Rookie of the Year,
Starting to
because
scare
they
you, huh?
never ever compared Ja to LeBron. But
Well-
deadgummit, they are putting it on the screen. They are talking about it on PTI. What are the shows? That is scary.
The scary part of this is if this Pelicans team can
Continue to
rolling
do what
and,
they're
and
doing.
get to that 8th seed, it becomes hairy
You know
on
who they
who's
play
going to be
tonight?
the Rookie of the Year.
Lakers.
Yeah, if they handle that, it's gonna start getting tougher here for Ja. But these Grizzlies, with their schedule coming ahead, it's gonna be tough. It's gonna
Telling
be
you
tough.
right now.
But when you talk about Ja's
Are you
overall,
excited about seeing a little bit of Zion and LeBron tonight? Because I
course.
am honestly, I'm
Of
not
course.
going to lie. The game starts at 9 o'clock. It's on
course.
TNT. I
No
don't
question.
give a damn. I always am up late anyway. But this is one of those games. If you get
Did you
up
stay up for the
early-
game last night?
Man,
Grizzlies
you know what?
game?
I ain't gonna lie. I watched every bit of it, and that's why I said I didn't want to talk much about it. I was furious.
Yeah, after that first quarter.
That 14-40 after the
Done.
first quarter, I
Done.
couldn't stop watching it because of the anger, and it's hard to let go of it. My
Mm-hmm.
doctor told me just to finish it out, let it go. Doctors, maybe they're right, maybe they're wrong. Who knows? But anyway, the Lakers are an 8-point favorite tonight over the Pelicans. We saw them just get by the Celtics without Kemba? Can Zion continue his crazy run, or will the King make it a personal kind of?
Look, I truly believe those teams at the top of the Western Conference are starting to engage that playoff mode where
The
they
Lakers
really
kick
it's
the Pelicans'
win.
butt
We have
tonight?
to win.
Do the Lakers kick the Pelicans' butt?
I don't necessarily think that because the Pelicans have been playing so well.
I know. But do you think that they, like Anthony Davis and LeBron, decide to show Zion what 7 feet?
They're going to try.
And 6'8".
They're going to do what they can.
Has.
They're going to do what they can.
Can they
Tell you
stop
that.
him?
Well, yeah.
Maybe Zion's a bad man.
Look, no one's stopping LeBron and AD. It's not possible.
It's going to be interesting. Nobody's stopping us either. And speaking about getting stopped, how you feeling? You feeling bad? You feeling good? If you're not feeling great, do you know what you need to do? Go to your CBD store. You know why? Because get rid of the pills and say hello to CBD. Let me tell you why. Y'all think I'm joking. I've told y'all this for many, many years. Marijuana's good. CBD is great. And opioids are killing your children. Did you know that literally, this is not a joke, you can look it up, 70,000 people are dying every single year from opioids. Do you know that that is how many people died in the, decades-long war of the Vietnam? I'm not taking anything light of the Vietnam War, but we sure were out there protesting that. I've seen all the people out there protesting the Vietnam War. Why are we out there doing that for the opioids? It's been killing everybody. CBD and marijuana ain't killed nobody. If you have pain, anxiety, if you have any issues, go to your CBD store, Collierville, South Haven, Memphis. They got you. And plus, we are on Facebook and Twitter, Instagram, Periscope, and YouTube. You go to your CBD store. You go to their homepage. Put in your zip code. They have over 450 stores across the nation. Bing, bang, boom. You'll find one close to you, and then you can thank me later. Your CBD store is the real deal, Holyfield, and so is this Sports 56, 96.1, 87.7 FM.
Sports 56 Mornings with Peter Edmiston and CJ Hertz. Weekdays from 7 to 10. Only on Sports 56, 96.1, and 87.7 FM.
And now, a page from the Diary of Flo.
Dear Diary, there's something about protecting people's homes through Progressive that inspires me, because I just had an idea for a book. Well, it was originally an idea for a movie based on a play inspired by a podcast. But the idea is how you can save when you bundle home and auto. Might not be the best idea for a book.
Save an average of 17% on car insurance when you bundle home and auto through Progressive.
Maybe a radio commercial? Guess we'll never know.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Discounts not available in all states or situations.
Is your wife asking you to stop eating junk food? Well, we have you covered at Humdingers. It's quick and it's healthy, and most important, it tastes amazing. With many choices from salmon salad to rainbow trout and grilled asparagus. Come visit us for lunch at Humdingers, 6300 Poplar Avenue. So good, Coach Penny eats with us weekly. Don't forget, Humdingers offers full-service catering for weddings, social events, or your corporate lunches. You can call 901-260-8292 to find out more.
Hey folks, I'm Jarrett Carter. My family recently purchased East Memphis Ace Hardware at Quince and White Station, and we're excited to offer the best selection of Big Green Egg and Traeger grills. And then don't forget about our Benjamin Moore Paint Studio and the Garden Center for flowers. Save 60% with our new Duracell key fob replacement program. We have a master locksmith service as well as glass cutting and screen repair. The East Memphis Ace Hardware, located at Quince and White Station behind Three Little Pigs.
Make your day smoking with the Big Green Egg. You can smoke, bake, roast, sear, and grill, all with a lifetime warranty. Ceramic never rusts, and the easy, accurate temperature control gives you the greatest range of any grill. Make your next grill your last with the Big Green Egg. Available at these nearby locations: Hamilton Fireplace Shop, 4462 Summer Avenue; Germantown Hardware Company, 2083 South Germantown Road; Garden Spas and Pool, 9393 Poplar Avenue; and East Memphis Ace Hardware, 5143 Quince Road.
The Can-Am Spring Fever event is here and ready to take you on the ultimate off-road ride and get you some serious savings. Can-Am is built for ripping through trails, crawling through mud, cruising over dunes, getting the job done. Get it done for less. Farmers and ranchers can save up to $1,500 on select 2020 Defender models, or even on select 2019 models, save up to $2,500 during the Spring Fever event. Get yourself a new Can-Am off-road vehicle at a great price. Visit us today, Olive Branch Motorsports, 5656 Goodman Road, or online at obmotorcycleatv.com.
Got something you want to get off your chest?
You better have a backup plan.
Want to join the conversation?
Someone needs to tell him he has to grow up.
Join us on the First Bank phone lines at 360-8255 or the First Bank text line at 67129.